I want to talk about how I was extremely confused when God first told me to stand, okay? Now, I want to keep in mind that I always had a relationship with God, but I never factored in how important obedience was. Like, my stand taught me that obedience is like oxygen to your life, okay? And I used to play with obedience all the time. I used to play with grace all the time. I suffered from anger. I did a lot of wrong things, okay? And then I would go to God and ask God for help. But my stand was something that God used to make me surrender completely to his life, to his will for my life. Now, when I first started standing, I would always feel this great conviction to pray. It didn't matter what we were going through. I felt like something was always telling me to pray. During this time, I did not know the ways of God, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't know how God speaks in different ways. Like, I knew he would talk to me, but going deeper in my relationship with him, I really felt crazy for doing this because everything that was happening told me to basically move on, told me to basically give up. And yes, I was in love, but I wasn't in love to the point where I was desperate, if that makes any sense. Like, I just wanted to make sure that I was not believing a lie, okay? Because I had gotten it wrong so many times before. So I'm gonna be honest with you, God began to tear down my idols. Like, everything that I idolized, God had me with no car, no job, the man is gone, and I was not living in a up to par townhouse, okay? And I was at the bottom. When I say I was at the bottom, I was at a very low place in my life. And this is where God began to really get my attention. Whenever God is telling you to stand, I promise you, he is going to take you low. All right. But the reason that he's doing that is to humble you so that you can hear, so you don't have all of those distractions. I'm sure if I had all the car, the job, the man, I was not going to be in a posture to hear from God. Okay. So a lot of women, they go through this phase like, well, I feel like God is punishing me. You know, they're getting away with whatever they're doing, and that's not the case. Where God is trying to humble you, that humility, he's literally trying to prepare you. Just like how the children of Israel had to go through the wilderness season, everybody has to go through some type of famine season. This is where your dependency and your trust and your knowledge and your familiarity of the Holy Spirit comes to play. It's never to punish you, even though it feels like punishment, okay? However, I'm telling you this now. My journey, I felt like I was going the wrong way. I felt like I was going the wrong way. I can't understand. It was a feeling telling me you shouldn't be doing this, but there was also signs telling me to be still. And the reason why I was feeling like I was going the wrong way, because God was doing illogical things. Like, he was making things work in my life that did not make sense. But it was not in a way to where I was losing my mind. It was not in a way to where I did not have any peace, because eventually I did get peace. But me feeling like I was going the wrong way, it was because I had not stepped into trusting God. Just like a lot of you guys, you feel crazy, but you don't understand that God is trying to lead you in a space of trust and faith. You're so focused on the outcome and the quick answered prayer, when you have to understand that you are being developed to sustain what God is going to give you in the future. Once I began to really believe that God was going to restore, God used an astronomical amount of confirmations. But I was not asking for these confirmations, okay? I was not asking for these confirmations, but the confirmations would always align with what I would pray in prayer, if I would be praying for something specific, something would come across my path to match what I was just talking to God about. It would be a sermon, it would be a conversation, it would be something. But the final confirmation that God gave me was where he used somebody that I did not know at all. I was talking to a friend that I met on Facebook for the very first time. Okay, for the very first time, I was on the phone with her. We were just talking. You know how you meet people on social media, right? Just like how you meet people on TikTok. I met her on Facebook. And during this time, I'm talking to her and she was like, Raven, my mom wants to talk to you. And I've never spoken to this lady before. And she began to tell me on the phone, she said, man, you don't know who I am, but the Lord, I heard my daughter on the phone and the Lord started to talk to me about who she was talking to. And he told me to come in here and tell you that the man is your husband. Okay, and that God is going to restore him. And she began to talk about him to the T. Everything that he was doing, the way that he was thinking, everything. That was the final confirmation that God used to prove to me that he was going to restore. Before I got this, I was always receiving little stuff, but I still was confused because I did not want to believe a lie, okay? So if you're in the space that I just talked about, a lot of times, and you're getting signs that's adding up, a lot of times God is just trying to lead you into a place of trusting him and faith, because this is a spiritual battle. And these are things that you need in order for God to do it. You got to have faith. Faith is like currency in the spiritual realm, and God is trying to trust you. I'm trying to get you to trust him. Just because you're facing a mountain, it doesn't mean that you're going the wrong way. Just because there's adversity, it doesn't mean that you're going the wrong way. You have to understand what God is trying to do. So whenever we read James 1, it talks about trials and tribulations that God uses to perfect our what? Our faith and our patience, teaching us how to persevere so that we lack nothing. And one thing that I have not lacked in my life is joy. And I don't have joy because all of my prayers are answered. I have joy because I know God. If I face anything in this life, I know he got my back, okay? I pray that this video has given you some type of revelation, some type of hope, inspiration, so you know that you're not crazy, okay? If you did not know, and if you are new to my platform, I have an ebook called Did God Tell Me to Stay? Okay, so this ebook comes with 2 ebooks. One that teaches you the ways that God confirms that he wants you to stand for your marriage, and another ebook is full of 10 prayers and declarations that you could pray if you don't know how to reach God. If you're new to this journey and you don't even know where to start, I have several resources in the link in my bio, but that one is available. It has been newly released today and it's available for you guys in the link in my bio. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.